Hello and welcome, my dear friend. You weren't pulled into this message by coincidence. Some part of you has already started sensing the shift, feeling time stretch and bend around you in ways that don't make sense to those still glued to the surface of things, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. You see, there's something about you that stops people mid-thought, not because you're loud, not because you're trying, but because your presence carries a silent contradiction. You look like you've escaped something the rest of the world is still trapped in. And you have. If these words resonate with your spirit, please take a second and subscribe, like and share this video. You don't know how many souls, just like you, need to hear this. And you can be the vessel for them to feel the same truth that's already stirring within you. You know, people don't know how to explain it. They glance at you, and then glance again, as if their eyes are playing tricks on them. You don't seem to carry the weight of the years you've lived. You don't wear your pain like armor, and that unsettles them. Because we've all been taught to expect decay, to assume that with time comes loss, of glow, of softness, of joy. But with you, time seems to be adding something instead of taking it away. This is where the illusion breaks. They told you aging was a countdown, a linear unraveling of beauty, energy, and clarity. But what they never said, what they may never understand, is that time is malleable when your spirit is awake. The calendar might say one thing, but your reflection speaks another language entirely. One that says, I've lived, yes, but I didn't die inside doing it. So what's really happening? Let's break it down. First, you're not aging, you're recoding. Most people live on autopilot, programmed by external narratives about how they're supposed to feel and look at every stage. But something in you rejected that programming. Maybe it was the betrayal that cracked you open. Maybe it was the silence of solitude that gave you your real voice. But whatever it was, it interrupted the script, and you began rewriting it, not on paper but in your cells, your nervous system, your frequency. And now you're seeing the proof. The glow they notice? It isn't surface level. It's not about products or good lighting. It's the afterglow of truth. Truth metabolized through tears, honesty, and uncomfortable transformation. That's why your skin feels like it's been kissed by clarity. That's why your eyes sparkle, like they remember something sacred. Because they do. You remember who you are, even if the world forgot. Here's something most people miss. Stress is aging. But not just any stress. Inauthenticity is one of the fastest aging toxins on Earth. Pretending to be okay when you're not. Smiling to be palatable. Shrinking your truth to make others comfortable. That tightness doesn't stay in your mind. It lodges in your body. It pulls your shoulders forward, it dulls your eyes, it slows down your repair systems. But you chose truth over approval. And that one decision started to reverse everything. Now think about this. How many people do you know who've aged more from emotional exhaustion than from time itself? How many faces have you seen that carry the bruises of unspoken stories? And what about you? What did it take for you to stop carrying what was never yours? You've done something that very few people do. You let go of false roles. And your body noticed. The tension dropped. Your breath deepened. Your gut started to trust you again. The inflammation went down, not just physically, but spiritually. You stopped trying to impress a world that never really saw the real you. And the result? Your face started telling the truth. Not the story of how many years you've lived, but how deeply you've chosen to live them. That's the difference. People who perform through life age fast. But people who evolve through it, they age like galaxies expand. mysteriously, beautifully, and without apology. You didn't just avoid burnout. You burned away everything that wasn't real. And what's left now is magnetic. Not because it's flashy, but because it's rare. You are rare energy. And rare energy doesn't follow earthly clocks. You're not ahead of your time. You're outside of it. Now let's talk about the real secret behind your timelessness. You've stopped performing for the matrix. The systems that keep people trapped in stress, comparison, and endless competition have no power over you anymore. You saw right through it. You saw that chasing the next moment, the next approval, the next trend would only age your spirit into dust, and you walked away. You chose stillness, alignment, authenticity. When you stopped chasing, the game changed, and the rules, they didn't apply to you anymore. People who are constantly performing for acceptance or validation are burning up their energy at an unsustainable rate. They're living on borrowed time, stretching themselves thin to be who they think they should be. But you, when you chose peace over performance, you gave yourself the greatest gift, rest. And that's why you look different. You stopped leaking your energy into places that didn't feed your soul. And now, your energy is your own again. You're not only reclaiming your time, you're reclaiming your body's natural vitality. They don't know how to process it. They can't wrap their heads around how someone who has endured so much still carries so much light. And the truth? You didn't just survive, you transcended. You went through fire, yes, but you didn't come out of it broken. You came out of it like a diamond forged under pressure, sharper, stronger, and more radiant. The scars that most people would wear as signs of defeat, you wear as symbols of power. You didn't just heal from the wounds, you regenerated. You've entered your second act, not as someone who's been beaten down by time, but as someone who's learned how to use time to your advantage. The divine secret to your timelessness is not in some beauty routine or daily exercise regime. It's in how you've embraced isolation as your teacher. It's in how you chose to learn in silence, to grow in the spaces most people fear. You allowed solitude to refine you, not break you. You didn't need the world's noise to validate your growth. You went inward, and that inward journey is what brought you back to life more powerful than before. They think that time left you behind, but it actually equipped you with everything you needed to step into your greatness. You were hidden for a season, so you could age without corruption. You didn't have to rush like the rest of them. You didn't have to race towards things you didn't even want. Instead, you were shaped, molded, and prepared for something far beyond their understanding. Now, when you re-emerge, you're not just older, you're a force. You're not a product of society's timeline. You are the outcome of spiritual alignment and soulful preparation. You are a walking testament to what happens when you choose yourself, when you choose your truth, and you let that guide every decision you make. Time didn't wear you down, it made you untouchable. So let's reflect on something. Have you ever wondered why, no matter how hard life tries to tear you down, you still stand, stronger, wiser, and more magnetic than before? Why does it feel like every step forward just adds to your brilliance? That's not an accident. That's the result of aligning with a deeper truth. What they see in your face is not just the passage of years. They see the evolution of your soul. And that, my dear friend, is not something time can steal from you. They thought your best years were behind you. They thought you were running out of gas, waiting to fade away with the rest of them. But that's not who you are, and they'll never understand. You're here to break all those rules, as they stand in awe, trying to piece together the mystery of your timeless beauty. Know this, it's not a secret. It's a truth that lives in your heart. It's a truth that whispers to you in the quiet of your soul, telling you that you were meant to age differently. You were meant to unfold in ways that don't follow any earthly clock. And every year, every trial, every moment of solitude only adds to your radiance. You've learned something that most will never discover. True beauty isn't about stopping time. It's about becoming so deeply yourself that time has no power over you. And now, as they watch you glow, as they wonder how you've stayed so powerful, so fresh, so young, they will only see what's on the surface. But you know the real story. You've defied the rules. And the beauty you carry? It's not fading. It's unfolding. It's becoming. And it's only going to get brighter from here. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.